but thank you. Thank you, Amy. And have you given me permission to, yes. Can I share my screen? So Amy, you're sharing fire stuff. There you go.
I'm so sorry. I'm working two meetings right now.
I understand.
Hold
Just
on. Oh,
okay, no
I'm doing the
problem.
wrong thing. I neglected to give you the permission. I'm doing that right now.
You always do that. I won't take it personally. Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Christopher Dustin. I'm chair of the Thompson Inland Wetlands Commission, and I'm calling the April 8th, 2025 meeting of the Commission to order at 7:02 p.m. We're meeting via Zoom, and we'll be following our regular protocol, which means that the meeting is being recorded for audio and visual content and is under the control of a Zoom host. For sound quality, the general rule for this meeting is that everyone will remain muted except when speaking. Commissioners and staff will generally remain muted except when speaking or voting, and will generally have their video turned on throughout the meeting. Applicants, their representatives, and the public may leave their video on or off, but are asked to turn their video on when speaking. That said, no one for whom video is not an option will be precluded from speaking at the appropriate time. All participants will please state their name for the record each and every time they speak. Please raise your hand, either your physical hand on the screen or by using the raise your hand feature located at the bottom of your screen to let me know that you wish to speak and I'll recognize you. Please don't speak until you are recognized. If your actual or your virtual hand is raised and I fail to see it, which I sometimes do when I'm sharing my screen, you may signal to me verbally that you wish to speak. Members of the general public may only speak during those portions of the meeting set aside on the agenda for citizens' comments. There are two such opportunities, one near the beginning and the other toward the end of the meeting. Individual applicants, permittees, and violators whose names appear in the agenda and/or their representatives will be invited to speak when that agenda item is discussed. Speaking time is generally limited to 3 minutes. I must remind everyone that if a member of the general public tries to communicate at a time other than that set aside for citizens' comments, or if anyone in attendance speaks out of turn in a disruptive or inappropriate manner, or for an inordinate length of time, they may be prevented from doing so, and if necessary, ejected from the meeting at my discretion. Those are our preliminaries. I'll now call the roll. Commissioner Langer.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Morano.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Obert. Commissioner Obert is not present. Commissioner O'Neill, I believe, is in Florida, and he has better things to do than to join us this evening. Staff members present this evening include Margaret Washburn, our Wetlands Enforcement Officer and duly authorized wetlands agent, Amy St. Ange, first selectman and Zoom host. For the time being, I think Gloria Harvey, our recording secretary, is also with us. We do have a quorum. The next item on the agenda is the seating of alternates. Greg Corso is our alternate member. Greg, I think you're present. Are you present?
I am present.
Wonderful. Thank you. Seeing as we have a quorum of regular members, but actually, no, not all regular members are present at this meeting. It has nothing to do with a quorum. It is therefore my pleasure to seat Commissioner Corso. At this point, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome a prospective alternate member by the name of Noah Saruccia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Noah, would you introduce yourself or wave or
Yeah.
something?
Hi. Hi, everyone. Pleasure to meet everyone. Salusia, you got it pretty close.
Saruccia. Okay, sorry, I kind of Italianized it a little bit more.
Yeah, no.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We enjoy the work we do. I hope I may speak for other commissioners in saying that, and hope you will too once your appointment becomes official. So you're very welcome to sit on tonight's meeting, and
Thank
hope
you.
to see you
Appreciate the
again.
space.
The next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the March 11th, 2025 regular meeting. And for that, to facilitate that, I will share my screen. And I will, okay. Oh, wrong screen. I want to share, I believe. Is that the right one? Yep, those are supplemental. Too many Zoom docs here. I'll try a different one. Okay. How will that work? Let's try that. Okay, that'll work. Everybody see that?
Yes,
Okay.
can see it.
Thank you. As is our custom, I will ask commission members or staff if anyone wishes to offer any corrections to these minutes. If so, and if accessible, the recording secretary will please note and incorporate those corrections. I myself have two corrections to offer. Both of them can be found on page 4, which I will turn to here. In the second full paragraph, the first sentence of that paragraph as written is Commissioner Obert made a motion to amend DEC 25003 so that as long as the application is modified, it could be approved. I'm going to propose a change to the following. Commissioner Obert made a motion to amend Commissioner Morano's motion so that as long as the application is modified, it could be approved. And my reasoning for that is that the wording that appears currently is somewhat confusing. It sounds like a motion to amend the application so long as it is amended, which really doesn't make sense. And I believe the change more clearly reflects the intent of Commissioner Obert's motion. Another proposed correction I would have that goes along with that is, and I will indicate, it's in that same paragraph, I believe, where it reads, the last two sentences. The wording here is the motion passed and was read into the record. DEC 25003 is approved with the understanding that a modified application will be submitted. I'm going to recommend a change to the following. The commission voted to require an amended application listing only the timber harvest as a use as of right to be approved by the duly authorized agent. And my reasoning for that is that this change more clearly reflects, I think, the action the commission voted to take on Commissioner Obert's amendment of Commissioner Morano's motion. The commission did not vote to approve DEC 25003 at that meeting, but to endorse the wetland agent's approval of an amended application that would include only the timber harvest as a use as of right.
Commissioner Dustin?
Yes.
This is Gloria. Could you repeat the first one, please?
I can also send these to you, but the change to the first one, to that first sentence, it would read, Commissioner Obert made a motion to amend Commissioner Morano's motion so that as long as the application is modified, it could be approved.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Are there any other corrections that any commissioners or staff would like to propose? If not, then I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the March 11th, 2025 regular meeting as corrected.
I'll make a motion to approve the minute.
Thank you, Commissioner Morano. Do I have a second on that?
Commissioner Langer, I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Langer. All those, and I take it we don't need discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. The minutes of the March 11th meeting are accepted and approved as corrected. The next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the March 22nd special meeting. And this meeting included a pair of site walks. Go to these minutes. Do commissioners or staff, this long minutes, have any corrections to propose to these minutes? Hearing no corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the March 22nd special meeting as written.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting as written.
Thank you, Commissioner Morano. A second on that?
Commissioner Langer, second.
Thank you, Commissioner Langer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? If not, the minutes of the March 22nd special meeting are accepted and approved as written. The next item on the agenda is citizens' comments on agenda items. And please note that this is an opportunity for members of the general public, other than applicants, violators, or their representatives, to inform the commission of any questions, concerns, or observations relating to specific agenda items. The speaking time is generally limited to 3 minutes. Further discussion of those items by the commission will be reserved for those portions of the meeting specified on the agenda. Are there any comments on agenda items that members of the general public would like to share at this time? If not, the commission will now consider pending applications. These applications were received at our last regular meeting, and since the commission is able to act on these applications, I'll remind commissioners of the need to state for the record the reasons for any votes they cast, either in the course of discussion or when votes are actually taken. And this evening, we have only one pending application. That is MOD 25005. David Malo, 17 Becola Road, map 116, block 24, lot 20. It's a request to remove one leaning tree on the bank of Little Pond and to prune one vertical red maple near the bank of Little Pond. David, I believe you're with us this evening. I should apprise commissioners that this is an application for an after the fact permit. This work has already been done, and perhaps you or Margaret Washburn could explain the circumstances surrounding the after the fact permit. Why you were given permission to go ahead and do this work. Is
I
David?
can start if
Okay. Hello,
David
welcome.
Malo. So pending or after our site walk, we came out and we had hired Arbor Active as a tree arborist, and he wrote up a health assessment, and the commission found his assessment to be valid and found some health concerns with the tree leaning over the water. So we came up with a detailed plan of attack or a plan of removal between Arbor Active and Crone Cuts Tree Service. And they granted the approval after the application was modified with Margaret.
Thank you. And my understanding is that you had an opportunity to arrange for a crane that would enable you to do this work in such a way that there would be no disturbance on the
Correct.
shoreline.
Yes. The house gets delivered this Monday, and once the house was put on the foundation, the crane would not have been able to access this tree with any the lot is too narrow, so there was no way to access it. So
Right.
given the substantial improvements that we're doing to this property from the condition that it was in before, the commission was grateful enough to or we're grateful for them to approve it.
Great. Thank you. Margaret, do you have anything to add to that?
No.
Okay, good. Well, not good, but I understand that. And commissioners, please let me know if the circumstances here weren't clear. The work was done well, judging from the photograph that was included in the wetland agent's report, with no apparent disturbance to the shoreline, and included the proper installation of a silt fence. It seems that there are concerns about the stability of the bank, and that becomes more of a concern with the removal of that that tree. And the stability of the bank, as well as safeguarding the aquatic habitat, and we've talked a lot about this. I'm pleased that that Vincent Long, from the DEEP, has signed off on the work you've done. I believe that he'd like a follow-up report, and that seems pretty straightforward. I think you were informed of that. I'm wondering if it would be appropriate to specify some conditions for approving this this permit, if only to make it clear that additional permits would be required for any other work near or along the shoreline, be it removal of vegetation or construction. I'm deferring to our wetlands agent I'm going to list 4 conditions that Margaret suggested. And Margaret, please let me know if I'm getting any of this wrong. First is that the vertical tree that was shown on the approved site plan as 18-inch tree to be removed, which has not been removed, shall not be removed, although pruning of limbs is allowed. Second, for the removal of the vertical tree, which is remaining, or the removal of vegetation on the bank of Little Pond, a separate application to the Thompson Inland Wetlands Commission would be required. Third, for the construction of a dock, a beach, a retaining wall, or any other activities proposed in or around the bank of Little Pond, and I know you're thinking about some of this, a separate application to the Thompson Inland Wetlands Commission would be required. And finally, that you be responsible to complete the planting of 8 to 10 native shrubs and native small trees in accordance with the approved site plan and landscape notes prepared by J&D civil engineers. With one exception, I think honeysuckle was on his list, and any honeysuckle to be planted should be the native species of honeysuckle and not the invasive species, which you wouldn't want to be dealing with anyway. I think we've discussed some of this before. I would at this point entertain a motion to approve MOD 25005 with those 4 conditions.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Morano. Do I have a second on that?
Commissioner Langer, I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Langer. Discussion. Or a
I
question?
can start discussion just by stating that probably in the best interest of all involved, I'll be abstaining from voting here as the licensed arborist on the project.
Right. Thank you, Greg, for reminding me that that's a good idea.
Yes. Commissioner Langer, the 4 conditions that you had noted, Chairman Dustin, were those discussed while you guys were on the site that day, or is that just some follow-up information?
This is a follow-up, and this was our wetland agent's suggestion that we
Understood.
codify those conditions, just to make it clear that that for that additional work, again, be it construction or alteration of the vegetation, that the commission would entertain applications for those, for additional applications.
Thank you for that
Well, as
clarification.
to we were, I believe, as we discussed at our last meeting, impressed by Daniel Blanchett's landscape plan, and given concerns about the stability of the bank, that it would be, we would like it if the applicant adhered as closely to that plan as possible. And that's, I think, in the interest of maintaining the integrity of his shoreline property as well as protecting the habitats. If there's no further discussion, I believe we're ready to take a vote. I think I've indicated my reasons. I'm going to vote in favor of approving this application with the conditions specified. Would other commissioners please briefly state their reasons for voting one way or another?
Commissioner Morano, I'll vote to approve. the plan that's been put in place seems prudent and addresses the needs of the environment.
Thank you.
Commissioner Langer, I'll vote to approve. Believe that the property owner is working with us in good faith and being willing to make the adjustments necessary to not only conform to the set of drawings and the documents, but also to the guidelines from from Margaret and all of her experience.
Thank you. Commissioner Corso?
Again, as
Oh,
the
you're abstaining, of
licensed
course.
arborist
Yes,
on the
right.
project, I'll be abstaining.
Thank you. Thank you. And you have good reasons to abstain. In that case, I will call for the vote. All those in favor of approving MOD 25005 with the conditions stated, please indicate.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Commissioner Corso abstains.
Thank you, Commissioner Corso. MOD 25, the motion carries. MOD 25005 is hereby approved with conditions. Thank you very much. And thank you, David, for
Yes.
working with us in the way that you have. I think
I would
Commissioner
like to, it's David Malo speaking, but I would like to thank the entire commission for everything that they've done with this and especially Margaret. So thank you very much. And I'll say to Greg, thank you for being the licensed arborist on this project.
Right.
So I got to jump, but have a good night, guys.
Okay, good night. We'll now consider applications newly received, beginning with the DLCL 25013. This is Rick LaFleche, 0 Plum Road, map 85, block 51, lot 20, for a timber harvest. And maybe I'm going to try to get us to where we want to be in the documents here. I think we want to be on way up on page 30. There we go. Okay, good. All right. So this is described as a timber harvest. It's more like a land conversion to create a farm, as the application indicates. I should also inform commissioners that this is another after the fact application, in that the most, if not all, of the logging has already been done. Mr. LaFleche, are you here? Is the applicant or a representative here to speak? Apparently not. So our wetlands agent has advised that this application cannot, because it really is a land conversion, it cannot simply be approved as a timber harvest, since the land is not going to remain in forestry, but would require a supplemental form. Is that right, Margaret?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, okay, good. So we cannot act on it tonight. We couldn't act on it in any case because it's a new application. But if we could receive that supplemental form and any further information that we require from Mr. LaFleche, we would look forward to deliberating and perhaps acting upon it at our next regular meeting.
Mr. Chairman?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, hello, Rick, is that you?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Now, when it comes to the conversion of a farm, this is going to be in years to come. All I want to do is do my timber harvest, and I want to move to the town. And then slowly, put in a garden, and I'm not going up there and clearing and stumping my whole property. I'm 62 years old. When I mean a farm, I just mean clearing around my house, have a
Okay.
nice garden, a cow, like a gentleman's farm type of thing.
Right. Understood. Thank you for that additional information.
And I apologize. I don't know how to run the phone very well.
You don't know how to what?
run the phone very well.
Oh, no, you're doing fine. You're doing-
Okay, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to say that
Yeah.
the along the wetlands there, as soon as it dries up, I got a chipper. I'm gonna pull all those tops out, chip the brush, and do a real neat job. But it's too wet right now, of course, so I can't go in there and clean it up.
Right.
But all I ask is, there's a little crossing, and even now it's a little too wet to go in there. But as soon as it dries up a little, I just wanted to. I don't even need to do the crossing. I could come in from the top of the hill and pull it up,
Okay.
but it would just be a little easier to do that. And yeah, there's no big conversion going on right now. I just want to put my house up there and try to like semi-retire. But
All right.
that's when I say farm, I mean slowly start with a garden, and this stuff takes years. I'm only one person.
Right. Thank
You
you.
know.
Thank you for that background. I appreciate it. It's helpful.
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
commission.
Just so you guys know, there ain't gonna be no giant farm going in there.
Right. Okay.
Just
Thank
a
you.
little gentleman's farm. Okay.
Thank you. That sounds nice. Commissioner Morano, did you wish to speak?
I was just wondering if this was something that we should look at or whether it's just fine.
The Margaret, am I right? We are certainly able to look at whatever we would like to look at. I was trying to move to some images that were. This is the lot.
Oh, he's putting a house up too, right?
Yes.
Well, in the future.
In the
Okay.
future.
This is Margaret.
Margaret, thank you.
I think since Commissioner Morano requested it, that we could certainly take a look at this site on when we schedule the other site visits. And because the land isn't all going to remain in forestry, we're going to need to ask Mr. LaFleche to fill out the other form for as of right uses that include creating pastures and so forth, because we're not allowed to approve the creation of pastures under the timber harvest form. What happened was I gave Mr. LaFleche that form and he came back with it. And when he came back with it, it was filled out to include things beyond the timber harvest, including raising beef and chickens and pigs and so forth. And so it's just a matter of a similar situation we faced recently where we have to ask for a different form for those other agricultural as of right activities. And so I would be happy to sit down with Mr. LaFleche and help him fill out the form while I'm there to make sure that we are in a mutual understanding of what is proposed beyond just a timber harvest.
Good. That sounds advisable. Thank you. Other commissioners have any thoughts about this? If not, then it sounds to me as if what we should do is hold this application over pending a site walk and give it our due consideration at our next regular meeting. Is that all in agreement?
Yes.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
thank you. Wonderful. All right, that brings us next to.
So I have to wait another month now?
I believe so. Yes.
Well, when can we go for a site walk?
Oh, we'll schedule the site walk at this meeting. So that site walk will take place before our May meeting.
Well, when's that gonna be? Of course, I want to be with you.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Margaret, shall we just pick this date now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think April is a busy month for a number of us. So I was going to propose May the 10th, which is a Saturday. That is the Saturday before our next regular meeting.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mr. LaFleche. I appreciate your willingness to work with us.
Well,
So
yeah, I want to
let's-
work with you. You know, I lived in North Grove and Dale for 10 years and I want to come back. You know, I like the town and, you know,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's kind of going to hurt me financially not being able to work even up on the other side where it's dry, you know? But, you know,
Understood.
well, I'll do my best to
Okay.
stay alive until May 10th.
Please do that. Please do that. Thank
You
you.
know, I got 2 little kids to still feed and,
Okay.
but yeah, okay, March 10th,
Good.
what time?
May 10th, and what we'll say 9 o'clock.
May 10th, 9 o'clock. All right, all right, I'll
And we'll
write that
set-
down and I'll see you at May 10th, 9 o'clock.
and Margaret will follow up with you. Yes. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
and
We look
I'll
forward
talk
to
to
it.
Margaret in between
Yeah,
then,
this
okay.
is Margaret Washburn. I have a question. Because we have a number of site walks to do that day, would starting at 8:30 at Mr. LaFleshe's property be too early for the commission members?
It's not too early for me. Do we have a critical mass of commissioners who would be able to begin a site walk at 8:30?
I could be there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can be there, Commissioner Langer.
Let's say 8:30. It's not a difficult commute.
No, it's right down the street.
Okay, good. We're all
Thank
morning
you.
people. Thank you for that suggestion, Margaret. All right,
May 10th, 8:30.
8:30. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
You as well. Thank you.
Okay.
The next item on the agenda, another application newly received, is Jason Smith, 0 Aquatic Town Farm Road, map 160, block 11, lot 15. This is the construction of a wetland crossing and a driveway. And now I need to do a little fancy footwork to share the okay, volume 2. Yes. Okay, let's share these. Nope, that's wrong. We want volume 2. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm getting the wrong one. Oh, I know what I can do. Okay, I'll just do it this way. And then what I will do is go in here. This. Ah. Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, so do we have, this is it's been a while since we've talked about this project. Do I have either Mr. Smith or is a representative?
Yes, this is Jason. I'm here.
Hi,
We also
thank you.
have Dan from J&D Engineering
Wonderful.
is running the project. Yeah, no, in the several months since we talked, you know, the main concern you had was with the boundary with the neighbor in the back, which we were able to record an agreement and straighten out that boundary line to accommodate the driveway, which I believe was the main issue. Why we didn't get approved last time. So, yeah, we're looking to, go full steam ahead and excited to, move to Thompson.
Excellent, thank you. So would you or Daniel like to say anything more about how this plan has changed from the last one we considered?
Yeah, are you here, Daniel?
I don't know if he's here.
Okay. I
So
thought he
I,
said beyond, but it really hasn't changed. I mean, he just kind of, you know, redesigned the culvert a little bit they were bringing in a lot of material with the last design, the last engineer, so
Mhm.
he was able to kind of resize it or not resize it, but you know, did his engineering and did what he thought was appropriate to accommodate, you know, the crossing there. So
Right.
there's really not, you know, the driveway that you see there, most of it exists already.
Hmm.
So, you know, the main part is just getting the crossing in the front, you know, putting down some gravel
Right.
over the existing, so that's,
And am I right in thinking, I know there was an issue last time about the neighbor's property, but this is
yes, that's been straightened out. There's a deed on record, a boundary line agreement,
okay.
which you can see the property lines drawn in. That's the updated property line. There'll be
Right.
no issue. You know, we're trying to get it between the wetlands and the property line before, but there wasn't enough room. So, the neighbor Joseph, you know, worked with me and I was able to, you know,
Mhm.
come to an agreement to make it work for both of us, so.
Thank you. Thank you. And just for the benefit of those commissioners who have not seen this site, um, which we saw, almost a year ago now, there is this area here where it kind of squeaks by the wetlands. Um, and that's an area to watch. So we can't act on this application at tonight's meeting because it's received at tonight's meeting and we have to allow for some time before we're allowed to vote on it. And Margaret, you're scheduling an inspection, is that right?
Yes,
Okay, good. So pending that, we will look forward to considering this application and acting on it at our May meeting.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to the next item. We have not received applications since the agenda was posted. Um,
Yeah.
We have no permit extensions or changes to discuss tonight. And that brings us to active violations and pending enforcement actions. And we got a bunch of those. So we're going to start with the VIOL 25007. This is Ryan Crone, 41 Hill Road, map 128, map 14, lot 1. Sorry, I think that should be block 14. Lot 1, this is a show cause hearing for material deposited in wetlands without a permit. I'm going to share another set of documents. So we'll do those. And hopefully these are the ones we just looked at. So these are supplemental. I think we can close those out. And I think we can do this. Okay. Mr. Crone, are you here this evening? Or is there a representative for the violator? We have discussed this situation and there was a site walk. Where are we with this, Margaret? We have the order to correct and started with retaining an engineering firm, and I believe you and I are going to meet with Mr. Crone and with his engineers tomorrow.
this is Margaret Washburn. The next inspection is on Wednesday, April 9th at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest continuing this show cause hearing till the next regularly scheduled meeting.
Right, we cannot lift the cease and desist order at this point before the order to correct has been addressed, and that will include a site plan and a wetlands restoration plan, and hopefully we can move forward with those. In the meantime, I will entertain a motion to uphold the cease and desist order and to continue the show cause hearing until our next regular meeting.
This is Commissioner Langer.
Yes, Commissioner Langer.
I would propose that we do as you just said. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. It's a motion to uphold the order and continue the show cause hearing.
Okay, to uphold the order and yes.
Do I have a second for that motion?
I will second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Morano. Any discussion? In that case, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? In that case, the motion carries. The cease and desist order for VIOL 25007 is upheld, and the show cause hearing is continued until our next regular meeting. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is VIOL 25008. This is Ronald Rote, 0 Riverside Drive, map 55, block 65, lot 15. This is a show cause hearing for material deposit in the upland review area and wetlands without a permit. Forgive me, I'm getting us up to snuff here with these documents. Moving through pretty nicely. Okay. All right, so this was, to provide some context, this was a permitted timber harvest, but there also appears to be a substantial mining operation underway that has altered the contour of the land and resulted in the deposition of materials in wetlands. It's Mr. Rowe, I believe you're here. You're invited to speak at this time?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Hi, the floor is yours.
I'm sorry. Alex is also here, and he's
Oh.
the one in charge of the that project.
Sure.
And he has been talking with Margaret, and I think it would be good for those two to discuss.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you for that statement. That seems to make sense. Commissioners, you can tell from the gauge from these photographs the extent of the quarrying that has occurred, and just to help orient people, these photographs were taken from the wetlands, and this is where the material is overflowing into the wetlands, impinging on the wetlands. So I think you're right, Mr. Rowe. We need to remediate this situation, which will include the removal of deposited material and the stabilization of the affected area. The commissioners will note that in addition to the deposition, the recontouring and runoff are also a serious concern. So we cannot lift the cease and desist order without, I think, without taking a closer look at this site. It would seem to me that I don't know if commissioners are in agreement, but I know that our wetlands agent has recommended that the entire commission visit the site and to consider the level of activity that is going on here. So can we schedule a visit to this site also on May 10th? Margaret, does that make sense? It'll make for a full
Yes.
meeting. but I think we can finish by lunch.
I think that you might want to save this one for last because the other site walks are much closer to the first site walk.
You're right. They're clustered geographically. So we'll work out just what time we anticipate arriving at this site. But in the meantime, I'll entertain a motion again to uphold the cease and desist order and continue the show cause hearing until our next regular meeting.
Excuse me, 1 second. Alex has done some work to remediate the area, and I think he's trying to get on right now.
Okay.
He lost connection.
He lost
You're-
connection and he's trying to hook up.
You're right. Thank you, Mr. Road. So hay bales, per the order to correct, the
Correct.
hay bales have been installed, the double staked hay bales. And I believe we were shown some photographs.
Yeah, and then he adjusted the grade a little bit so that no runoff would go down there or anything like that.
Okay.
We can.
Okay. We'd be very interested to see that.
This is Margaret Washburn.
Yes, Margaret.
Through the chairman, would you please advise Mr. Rowe that no other site work is permitted, including changing any other grades, and that he is responsible as owner? There is a cease and desist order on this property. Absolutely no mechanical equipment should be changing any grades from this point on out.
Okay, again, I understand that, and I thought Alex again is trying to get in, but it was all, I thought it was all talked about. So we're not going to do anything else. We're done, and you know, there's no big deal of us doing any more right now until we get this squared away.
Alex had an appointment to meet with me and the chairman this week. He didn't show up. He didn't let us know why he didn't show up. He hasn't talked to me. All he's done is send in photographs showing the hay bales.
Okay.
I found out. Yeah.
I wasn't aware of the recontouring either.
Well,
But
it
Margaret,
was,
that's right.
we just dug a little swale, that's all.
Okay. All right. Well, the commission looks forward to inspecting the site, and I know we also look forward to working with you on the restoration plan before anything else moves forward.
So when is this site visit gonna be?
May 10th, is that possible for you to be there, or for Alex to be there? Good, excellent.
One of us will be there.
Okay, and we'll follow up. Thank you.
And what time is that gonna be, do you think?
It probably would be late morning,
Okay,
before noon.
so, how do we make sure we're there? Or,
We can, so Margaret, can we, once we have our schedule worked out, can we?
Okay,
follow up?
okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, we won't leave you waiting there.
Okay,
Certainly.
okay, so we're all set?
We're all set. So where were we with our motion? I think we, did I get a motion to uphold the order and continue the hearing?
Commissioner Corso, I'll make a motion to uphold the order.
Thank you. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Morano. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions?
This is Margaret.
Margaret?
There should be a motion to continue the show cause hearing as well, please.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the original motion was worded that way, so this is.
Will
I
amend
believe
my motion to uphold the cease and desist and continue the show cause.
Continue, yeah, and I believe the second only mentioned the upholding. So that motion passes, the order is upheld and the hearing is continued until our next regular meeting. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Rowe, for being here and helping us to understand what's going on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
The next item on the agenda is VIOL 25010, This is Rick LaFleche, Zero Plum Road, map 85, block 51, lot 20, harvesting forest products in wetlands, a watercourse in the upland review area without a declaratory ruling or a permit. An application for declaratory ruling was submitted on April 1st. I don't think Mr. LaFleche is with us any longer, at least not at this meeting. But the situation, as I understand it, is the application was submitted. We cannot act on that application as is. We need a supplementary form, and so the violation stands for the time being. Is that right, Margaret?
This is Margaret. Yes.
Yes, great. Thank you. All right, that brings us to VIOL 25011. This is Paul and Brenda Duquette, 8 Plum Road, map 83, block 56, lot 41B, and 0 Plum Road, map 83, block 56, lot 41D. This is a show cause hearing for work in wetlands and the upland review area not in accordance with the approved plan. It's a violation of permit IWA 21013. Okay, if all goes well. Okay. So this is the situation here. Is Mr. Duquette or
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Please, you're invited to speak about what's happening.
Okay, so I am not out of any of the boundaries that are marked on the plan. So I don't understand what that's about. I do understand that the silt fence ain't up.
Right.
However, there's pine trees that we cut down, the stumps are 3 and almost 4 feet at the base. So when you go putting a silt fence up and then you start knocking it down to dig the stump out, it's better to just do the silt fence as you're going. That's just my point of view.
Okay, thank you.
We got some silt fence up today. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that or not, but the silt fence is going up. And there's no unstable soils there. None whatsoever.
Very good. Thank you for that background. Do other commissioners have, or Margaret, would you like to comment on this situation?
This is Margaret. I recommend a site visit on May 10th. The part of the issue is that if you can look at this lowest photograph you just went past, there's a pipe.
Yes.
There's a pipe there with standing water deepest on the left side facing it from the road. This is looking at the site from Plum Road. The water is so deep there that Mr. Duquette can't realistically install the sediment controls that are shown on the plan because they'd be underwater. And so I don't see how that area of fill can be put in place unless there is a modified plan submitted.
Right.
And so a site walk could help the commission get a handle on what's going on at the site and what the concerns are. And I did talk to the engineer. He happened to be in the office the day, within a day of me meeting Mr. Duquette. I think I saw him the day before, and he did stake the invert and outlet of the pipe, which is very good. But when I told him how deep the water was there, he said maybe the conditions on the site have changed since we were there in 2021. And so I don't know how the plan can be followed as shown with sediment controls with all that standing water there. And so that's why we're having this conversation.
Yeah. I was going to, for the commissioner's benefit, I mean, they have these materials, but I shared your impression when I saw this. It was hard to imagine how this work can proceed, this work here, in keeping with, and here's the plan, which I will make smaller. Right, so here was the proposed access is the drive, and here's the pipe. That standing water isn't even indicated, there's standing water indicated to the right, but not to the left. It seemed to me that, and I don't know what other commissioners will think, that the work really wasn't proceeding according to the plan, and that for that reason, that a modified plan is something that we may do well to require.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Okay, so that dries right up in the summer. There's absolutely no water in that in the summer. There's a swale on the opposite side of my driveway. We've been here 37 years. Okay, so that swale hasn't been cleaned out. So I gotta get a permit to do that, I guess, too. But if I clean the swale out, that water would all be gone. And the material I'm putting in there is 99% stone. It's like tailings off from a screening plant from loom. It doesn't move. And it's not, you're not gonna get any runoff from it. So the best thing that I think would be is get it done and seed the side and it's over with. I mean, I don't know how you would change the plan that's already in place.
I think that the commission's problem is understanding, again, I'm going to look at the plan, is can I ask, when I look at this plan, my assumption would have been that this access would have been constructed, and that would provide you with access to the site. So how are you gaining access to the site currently to do the work you're doing?
There's the high, well, can I move the thing? Because if you follow the driveway in from the road.
Is that what you'd like me to do?
Yeah, put your arrow on the riprap, right, correct.
Yeah.
Follow that in towards the house, right up the driveway.
Right.
Oh, stop, don't go to the house.
Yeah.
Go left now.
Ah.
That was a whole high spot of gravel to my driveway, existing driveway. So I'm just going over to what's there, what's been there. It's all original soils.
This is Margaret. If I may
Yes.
please add something to what Mr. Duquette is saying.
Sorry.
He is coming in that way, but that's not what was shown on the approved plan. The approved plan shows sediment controls all the way around the site, and showing the entrance, the engineer told me his understanding was that the entrance with the tracking pad was supposed to be constructed first, and that's how he was supposed to access the site. And so none of the silt fence containing this site had been installed when the chairman and I drove by and noticed that pipe. And so that's why, there is an approved plan and it hasn't been followed.
Yeah, I
So
think
if I take care of,
sorry, please go ahead.
so if I take care of, like I said, I put silt fence up today, not all up, but if I put all the silt fence up, there shouldn't be an issue with this.
Well, I think the commission.
According to the plan,
Sorry, go ahead.
according to the plan.
And I think I've lost you.
No, I'm here. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
okay.
Can you hear me now? I don't know how
I
this
can,
works,
I
but-
can.
So I should be able to just, because the only reason is because there's no silt fence up here. That's the problem. I'll put the silt fence up, and that's according to the plan. That's according to the plan. That was approved.
Right. I think the commission needs to be able to visit the site in order to reconcile the actual site and the work that's being done with what was approved under permit IWA 2013. Because it is again, it's difficult to do that based on what we are seeing here. And perhaps we could work that all out, but it's if and I believe that Margaret would probably agree that if you look at this pipe sticking out here, how that can be brought into conformity with this is hard for us at this point to understand.
So you have to start with the bottom elevation of the pipe to install the pipe. And it's at the elevation they wanted. It's on the stake. Well, could be on a stake. So when's the site walk? But am I allowed to continue putting a silt fence up?
Margaret, can you answer that question? As the
there's a cease and desist order until the commission does the site walk, and I honestly don't think that, aside from putting in silt fence, that any other work should proceed until the site walk and the commission has a chance to discuss what happens at the site walk, because the commission is not able to make any decisions at the site walk. All they're able to do is gather information at the site walk. So it won't be until the May meeting that the commission can discuss what they see at the site walk.
So I can continue to put up the silt fence. That's all I'm asking.
Margaret, does that sound reasonable?
I think it's okay. Well, I would suggest that through the chairman, the silt fence could be installed in places that aren't in standing water.
Right.
But trying to install the silt, Mr. Duquette was the one who pointed out to me that he can't install the silt fence in standing water. And there should be no draining operation to try to drain the water out of there, as Mr. Duquette even suggested that if he wanted to do that, that in itself might need a permit.
Mm-hmm. So we need I don't see how this order, apart from installation of the silt fence in areas where there is not standing water, which wouldn't really accomplish anything, and might possibly damage the wetlands. I don't see how we can lift the cease and desist order until we've conducted a site walk and can further consider what we find at our next regular meeting. So I'm going to entertain a motion now to uphold the cease and desist order and continue the show cause hearing until our next regular meeting, pending a site walk on Saturday, May 11th. Do I have a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion to uphold the cease and desist order and continue the hearing at the next meeting after we've had a chance to do the site.
Thank you, Commissioner Morano. Do I have a second for that motion?
Commissioner Corso seconds.
Thank you, Commissioner Corso. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? If not, that motion passes. The cease and desist order is upheld and the show cause hearing is continued at until our next regular meeting, pending a site walk on May 11th. And hopefully we can find a way through this and help the work to proceed. Thank you all.
This is Margaret. I think
Margaret, yes.
Maybe you could schedule the timing of this site walk since it's so close to Mr. LaFleshe's property.
Right. So we're seeing Mr. LaFleche at 8:30. Do you think a half hour is sufficient, or would we need an hour with Mr. LaFleche?
A half an hour is plenty.
Okay, so we'll say 9 o'clock. Thank you very much.
I think it was Saturday, May 10th. I think you might have said the 11th.
Thank you for the correction. I have 11 on the brain for some reason. All right, so moving along, the next item on the agenda is VIOL 25015, Alejandro Madrigal, 85 Quadic Mountain Road, map 143, block 16, lot 17, I can't read through my own writing, H. This is site work and upland review area to aquatic reservoir with no IWC permit. I need to move ahead. This is I believe to 171, 162. Okay. So this is an interesting situation. It was brought to our attention by the zoning enforcement officer. So there is a zoning issue with this property in that the expansion exceeds the allowable 25%. But as Margaret and I discovered when we visited, there is also work being done in the upland review area and right alongside the little pond here that has not been permitted. Is
This
Mr.
is
Monticello present?
Margaret, if you please excuse me, this is Aquatic Reservoir.
Oh, Aquatic Reservoir. Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you for the correction. Little Pond is another. I have. Yes, there's a lot going on in Little Pond as well. Thank you, Margaret.
This was actually brought to my attention by the building inspector.
Oh, by the building inspector. That's
And this homeowner has allegedly built this house around a shed with no permits from NDDH or any land use or building office in town. So he's been shut down by the building official and the zoning enforcement officer, and I haven't had time to issue a cease and desist order, but that will be forthcoming soon.
Yeah, but a cease and desist order has been issued, so nothing more is happening here. So is there any action we can take other than to take note of this?
No.
No, I don't think so. Okay. All right, very good. The next item on the agenda is VIOL 25016. This is Christopher McGovern, 497 Riverside Drive, map 85, block 51, lot 22. This is a show cause hearing for filling a water course in wetlands with no inland IWC permit. And I need, okay, I have to find other materials to share with you here. I need, let's go to this. These are supplemental materials. Good. Okay. And consult my notes. 5. Sorry, 25016. Is Mr. McGovern present?
I am.
You're welcome to address the commission.
Yep. I was just trying to clean up around the ponds areas. I have 3 ponds, and they've been, well, 2 of them have been dry for the last 2 years, and it got a lot of debris and stuff was in it, and I was unaware. I've owned the property for 20 years, and this year when spring came, the water came flooding in, and the inlet where you can see on the bottom left was clogged there. So it was holding back, and I went in, no, the bottom left picture.
Oh, here.
Yeah. That was the last spot that I just touched up. It was just to get the inlet so the water would come in easy. The problem that I was having was down at the big pond. down the bottom, which you can't see here, and I'll show you if you guys come and do a walkthrough. That one was ready to flood Riverside Drive because something had clogged the outlet at the backside of the dam. You can't see it here. So I was out there until 9 o'clock at night trying to get it to flow again, and it finally got it to flow. And then I realized that none of these were able to flow either. So I had gone into the first pond that you were looking at, and I just cleaned up around the throat right there and removed the debris. And that one started to flow. And this one right here, the one on the left, that one it's normal. That's normal that it holds that much water.
This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had just like stabilized it because I had gone in the year before and cleaned up with a rake on the excavator. So you can see by all the brush that I'm just trying to clean it up back there. I want to throw ryegrass or make it look nice. So my wife walks the trails. So we're just trying to clean up the property so we can walk the trails with the dogs,
Right.
I'm not trying to, fill in anything or do anything like that, I've never done any maintenance to the ponds, and this year they were like, I had no choice. Even the at the road was clogged because the pines were rotting. I had a bunch of pines removed because they were 150 feet tall, but they were rotted 30 feet up the bottom. And I didn't understand that. But when the trees started falling at the bottom pond, they clogged that back dam gate, the exit to go across Riverside Drive. And then my arborist was looking at the ones up here by the pond, and one of them fell over. And so I cleaned up all that, and he had taken down another big one that was over by that shed. And removed a couple of ash trees that were gone. They were dead as well.
Right.
But I'm not trying to fill anything, or I'm just trying to make it better.
Yeah, no, thank you. Your goodwill is duly noted.
Yeah.
I think that it's clear that the commission needs to visit the site to determine how the wetlands have been affected.
Yeah.
And whether there is anything that we need to be concerned about here.
Yeah, I think when the guy originally made them, that middle one was like a silt pond, like a
Mhm.
like a settling pond. And then like where it comes in on the big one, that one on the left you see, like that's where the first stop is. So it runs down like a little waterfall. Then it goes into that long one, and that's the sediment pond.
Mhm.
And it's kind of settles there, and then it goes down to the big pond, which is on the other side of that red container.
Uh-huh. Very good.
Well, I heard the guy had a diving board and he was using the big pond as a swimming pool, but that was back in the 50s or 60s or something.
Is
Yeah.
that the big pond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the exit there, that exit, there was a couple tall 150-foot pines that fell over. And it's actually, I gotta redo the exit DM because it was built with wood and it's kind of blown out because of it now.
Mhm.
So there is some stuff that I got to talk about and see what we can do about repairing.
Okay. Well, we would love to visit you on May 10th.
Yeah, that would be great.
That's
Yeah.
agreeable to you and
Yep.
see how we can um, work this out. We look forward to that. So in that case, I'm going to entertain a motion for the time being, to uphold the cease and desist order, continue the show cause hearing until our next regular meeting, pending a site walk on Saturday, May the 10th.
I'll make a motion to uphold the cease and desist order.
Thank you, Commissioner Morano. Do I have a second on that?
Commissioner Langer, I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion, further discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? In that case, the motion carries. The cease and desist order is upheld. The show cause hearing is continued until our next regular meeting, pending a site visit on Saturday, the 10th of May. Thank you very much.
Would this be the third stop during that time? So 9:30, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, so Margaret, we will visit Mr. LaFleche at 8:30, and then we will visit Mr. Duquette, who's right down the road from Mr. LaFleche, and they're all clustered very tightly together. So this would be our third stop.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. All right. We got through all of those. Other business. This brings us to revising regulations to allow for peer review. This is a public hearing reminder. Margaret, do we need to read the do we need to read anything? Or
No, this is just a reminder to get as many commissioners as possible at this hearing because Miss Commissioner O'Neill will be in Florida.
Right. So this is oh, I have to go back up. Sorry. All right, very good. And that brings us to what the moment you've all been waiting for, to members' reviews of the Inland Wetlands Commission bylaws. This is our annual organizational meeting, and so we have a couple of organizational duties to perform. I'm going to get back up to where this is. Okay, there is the notice of public hearing. This has been posted on the website and is about to appear in the shopper's guide. So at every April meeting, we're supposed to review the bylaws. It seemed more efficient to encourage people to review the bylaws.
Apologize. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm not sure we're seeing what you're hoping for us to see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not?
Oh, we're looking at a map at the moment, yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you for that.
No worries.
Let me see what I can do. I need to meeting material. That should be right. Let's see whether this is right. Are you?
That looks more like bylaws, yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's bylaws with all those articles. All right, I'll start the bidding with a few things that I noted in reviewing the bylaws. And now I'll go through what I have. The first is on the first page, Article 4, membership would be to add, this should be an item 4. There are 3 items currently listed, and it would read, all newly appointed members shall undergo the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection training for inland wetland agencies and submit a certificate of passing to the chairman of the IWC within 12 months of their appointment. I'm going to read through these and then we can discuss them if you like. We should probably. The second page, Article 6, staff and their duties. There's a missing S from the word determination. Page 4, Article 8, Item 7, meetings. I think we're up to the 12th edition of Robert's Rules of Order, or at least that's what I have on my desk here. It's the 11th edition that's specified in the bylaws. Page 4, Article 10, Item 1, Order of Business. This is what currently appears on the agenda as permit extensions and changes. But I would recommend we omit changes from permit extensions and changes and substitute transfers. Changes sounds too much like modifications. And the modification of permits is something that we usually discuss on the agenda under old or new applications. So I was trying to think of a change that we might review that's not a modification. And I think that would be a transfer, although we haven't seen one in a while. Page 5, Article 11, under public hearings, there's a phrase on any application that appears there. And it's one, in my understanding, is there does not have to be an application for a public hearing to be held. For example, proposed revisions to the regulations, such as what we're about to discuss at our next public hearing, that would be an instance of that. So it would make more sense just to omit the on any application. That is what I have. I don't know if any members have other changes to propose. I will note that under under Article 14 amendments, the current bylaws currently stipulate that the bylaws can be changed at any meeting by a unanimous vote of the entire voting membership, parentheses 5 of the commission. Otherwise, they can only be amended by a majority vote after the proposed change has been read and discussed at a previous regular meeting. I confess I'm not sure how to interpret that entire voting membership of the commission, whether that includes alternates or whether that includes the up to five regular members. We're missing 2 members at this meeting. I don't know how other commissioners feel about this. I'm wondering if it might perhaps, since this is a work in progress, be better, and I'm mindful of the time, to carry this item over to our next regular meeting. And we'll consider these proposed changes to have been read tonight and discussed if you like, and we can pick them up at the next meeting. But I'd like to hear from other commissioners what you think.
I think it would be a good idea to carry on to the next meeting because we're missing half of our board.
Right, right. I would concur with that. And that would, if we're playing with a full deck, so to speak, at our next regular meeting, then we could consider other proposed changes, and we can in any case act on them. So perhaps commissioners can consider these, and it's helpful to consult the bylaws when you're looking at them, obviously, because here I don't have the original articles for you to compare. So I guess I will entertain a motion to carry the what are we calling this item? The review of the IWC bylaws over to our May meeting for further discussion and action.
I'll make a motion to continue our review of bylaws and action until the next meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner Morano. Do I have a second on that motion?
Seconded by Commissioner Corso.
Thank you, Commissioner Corso. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Well, the motion carries. The review of the bylaws will be carried over until our May meeting.
This is Margaret. Through
Yes,
the chairman, if I may, I'd just like to add one follow-up comment, which is that right now, the bylaws require the commission to do this in April, and I suggest considering doing it at the January meeting because it's usually very busy around this time of year. As you can see by looking at the agenda, in January, it's usually much less busy. And so just a thought that in future, when these bylaws are reviewed, that maybe January would be a winter month might be better than April.
Thank you. Yes, and again, other commissioners are welcome to propose changes, but Margaret's referring to Article 7, election of officers, that states an annual organizational meeting should be held on the second Tuesday in April, at which time officers will be elected and bylaws reviewed. We could change that to the second Tuesday in January. And I agree that our caseload would allow for us to give a little more time to that review. Go ahead. I thought I heard someone. No one else? All right. In that case, we'll revisit this topic. That brings us to the election of officers.
Chairman?
Yes, Commissioner Morano.
Being that we have, we're missing some of our officers that maybe we could, if it's possible, postpone this to the May meeting?
I think we can do that, certainly. To some of our newer commissioners, we can entertain nominations from the floor for any of these positions or motions to reelect the current slate, whatever the commission decides to do. But I think Commissioner Morano's point is well taken. We have two regular members who are absent tonight. So, and I would feel better if they were here. So we get a mandate, so to speak. So I will make a motion that we carry this agenda item, specifically the election of officers, over to our next regular meeting in May. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we carry our election of officers over to our next meeting in May.
Thank you. Very sensible. Do I have a second on that?
Commissioner Langer, I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Langer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. We'll revisit this agenda item in May as well. The next agenda item is factors for consideration in reviewing any application. I'll take the blame for this one. We've been dealing, it seemed to me, with some difficult and complex cases, and with some difficult and complex decisions we needed to make. And so I needed to remind myself of what I learned when I did the DEEP training and from Michael Ziska's book, to which we will often refer or defer. And so I put together, again for myself, a kind of distillation of the factors that that we should be considering when we're reviewing any application. So these are factors that we want to focus on to guide our deliberations, and the more directly we can refer to these considerations, really the better. So Margaret suggested I share this with other commissioners as for future reference. So I'm just encouraging us all to keep some of these considerations in mind as we formulate our decisions. It's sometimes easy to lose sight. I don't think I need to read through them or review them here, but you have the document. The next item on the agenda is the zoning enforcement officer's letter regarding this is the stone quarry at 0 Riverside Drive, map 55, block 65, lot 15. This relates to violation 25008, which we've discussed above. Margaret, would you like to furnish any comment here?
I guess I'm not sure why we're looking at this point on the agenda. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the letter from Cindy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, no.
I don't have any comments.
Okay. It's I had a note on it here somewhere. Yeah, so this is reinforces, for me, reviewing this letter reinforced some concerns that I had already. There is no Mr. LeBlanc does not have, nor was he required to apply for a special permit to excavate on this site.
Actually, I guess I take back my comment that I didn't have any comments. And my comment is that when an earth removal type situation gets going without a special permit, grades start being changed without the required testing for the depth to seasonal high groundwater. And somehow that focus seems to have been lost. And in my mind, it's a very, very important focus that the seasonal depth to groundwater can change once they start digging without a special permit. And so I'd just like to remind everybody that when we have earth removal operations, the time to look for the depth of seasonal high groundwater should, in all of the towns in the area, is not after they start work, it's before they start work. And it's shown on the plan so that the required separation from groundwater can be maintained throughout the life of the project. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Good point. I was struck by these highlighted considerations that the reason one might require a permit is in the case of deep excavations, excessive sloping, excessive fills, grading, obstructing or diverting drainage, importing or exporting of earth greater than 1,500 cubic yards. A lot of these things are happening on this site. I mean, based on my initial visit. Mr. LeBlanc claims, according to the zoning enforcement officer, to have only removed 1,322 cubic yards of material to date. I'm no expert, but based on what I saw, that seems questionable to me. So the bottom line here is that the zoning enforcement officer is allowing in this letter allowing the quarrying to continue. This letter dated April 1st. This commission issued a cease and desist order on March 31st, and that order will have to be addressed before any removal of material is allowed to continue. Okay, the next item on the agenda is Northeast Sand and Gravel, a lot of gravel tonight, 659 Riverside Drive, map 63, block 58, lot 15P. And this is the need for a site inspection. This has, well, I think I need to go to my supplementary materials now. I'm going to stop sharing this. This has come up before. Oh, that's what I want to be sharing. I want to be sharing this. Okay, it's not what I want to be doing. Here, I want these. Is this what I want? Oh, yes. I didn't go far enough. Okay. So a little background here, and Margaret, perhaps you could help me out. What the concerns are here. I think the town wants to proceed with some reclamation plan for this area. But there are wetlands issues that this commission needs to address, hence the need for a sidewalk.
This property, this is Margaret. This
Yes.
property, when the plan was approved, showed that there were no wetlands on the subject property. There were wetlands on the abutting property. And so that's why they needed a permit.
Mhm.
Somehow, somewhere along the line, it seems like no enforcement officer was checking that the grades were meeting the plan, and they vastly over excavated. They appear to have possibly intercepted the water table in a number of places.
Mhm. That
Then, so I'm recommending that the commission does an inspection, and my instincts are telling me that after the inspection, that a cease and desist order should be forthcoming
Mhm.
so that all the work stops until the commission gets the as-built plan. And part of the reason, in my opinion, this all went so badly wrong is that in Thompson, no one requires as-built plans on a regular basis for gravel excavate or stone quarries. And so it's a wonderful way to truth check the bottom depth of the excavations on an annual or biannual, once a year, twice, once every 2 years. But it hasn't been a practice in this town.
Mhm. We need to get our act together. So are these, where we see standing water here, is that because the water table has been breached?
I really don't know, but that's why we need to do a site walk.
Right. Right, because there could be wetlands implications currently.
I have never been to this site.
Yeah. So can we fit this in on May 10th? After we visit Mr. McGovern? It's fairly close to there, isn't it?
Yeah, it would make sense to go here after we leave 497 Riverside Drive. And so what time is that one been set for? 9:30?
9:30.
And so we'll be at this, realistically, maybe I would suggest 10:15
Okay,
or 10:30, because there's a lot to see at McGovern's.
right.
10:30?
10:30. That sounds good. And then we can go from there up to 0 Riverside Drive. Okay, very good. So that's all we need to do with this, is to schedule the sidewalk.
Yes.
All right, excellent. That brings us to citizens' comments. Do I have I know Ms. Clark was in attendance. Do any members of the general public wish to address the commission at this time?
Ms. Clark has her hand up
Oh, I'm sorry. See, this is a good example. I don't, in order for me to see what
because
I'm
you're screen
showing,
sharing. Yep.
I can't. So you are hereby recognized.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't clear when you
There you are.
mentioned my name.
Yeah.
And then addressed the rest of the group. So Valerie Clark Elm Road, just a couple things working chronologically backward. For Ms. Harvey, when she's trying to do the minutes on the section that the chairman had a note about regarding the amendments. Verbally, you referenced it as 14, section 14, I believe. And it actually, the Roman numeral that I saw was 16.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
And here, so much from my classical education. It's VI rather than IB, but thank you very much.
It's late at night and it's easy to transpose. And then going all the way back toward the beginning of the meeting, during one of the agenda items, one of the commissioners abstained from voting. I put a note in the chat. I think you need to review the difference between an abstention and a recusal. I believe the commissioner should have recused himself. So, thank you.
Good point.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Point of order. Any other citizens' comments? If not, we come to reports. It's always a favorite is our budget and expenditures report, which seemed unproblematic. Commissioner Langer, as our treasurer, is there anything that we should be mindful of here?
If you can pull it up, this is the report ending on 3/27/25. All of our expenditures are appropriately accounted for. All of our percentages of our budget are in line, except for the one for office supplies, which we discuss each month. And hopefully that will be corrected with the change in the new budget to have a separate line item for the cell phones.
Cell phone, right?
Other than that, we are still running And one item at 100, and the balance of them are still underneath our targeted budget allocations for this year. And that is all we have for this. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Wetlands agent report, Margaret, I think we've covered everything. The Quinnetisset Country Club did submit a revised application including only the timber harvest that was submitted, and it was approved by you as discussed by us. Anything else from your report you'd like to highlight?
This is Margaret. I don't think it came up yet, but I did issue the approval for the Quinnetisset Country Club timber harvest after receiving the revised declaratory ruling application that lists only the timber harvest. So that was issued on April 1st.
Okay.
And for the commissioners, the other commissioners' benefit, they are going to be coming back in with a site plan prepared by a surveyor and or an engineer for the remaining work.
As we asked them to do. Excellent, thank you.
Well, I guess there's one last thing we can touch on, which is in the very last page 5, I mentioned the significant activity, how it's defined in the regulations. And so moving forward, the commission has historically not held many public hearings for violations. It's my training that if the commission deems that some of the work that's either proposed or that took place without a permit is considered significant, that's the time that it's appropriate to schedule a public hearing. And it opens up the conversation to the general public if they want to talk about what's going on with the wetlands violations in town. And I think that keeping the concept of what significant activities are moving forward with the huge number of violations going on, it would be prudent for all of us.
Yes, I agree. We got a good impression of that this evening, and some of the sites that we visit on May 10th, it might be a good idea to view them through the lens of that category. So I would ask commissioners to take note of that definition that you attach to your report and maybe bring it along to the site visit. It's something that we should be keeping in mind and not shying away from. Thank you. Correspondence. Quinnebog Park herbicide application form, Solitude Lake Management. Is there anything we need to do here?
No, there is no action needed. It's just interesting to note how very close the herbicided pond is to the public water supply wells. And it's in NDDB habitat.
Yes, wood turtles. But we can't. But DEEP is approving that. Is that right? Or
yes, and you might want to show the map that's towards the end. I think it's the last page.
Yeah, this is the wood turtle. There we go. So this is Quinnebog Road. This is the intersection of the intersection 131 and 197. And is this, when you talked about is this the pond right in the middle here?
Yes, and the wells are right next to the pond.
Whoa.
I think there might be an aerial. Is there an aerial photograph that follows this? No.
No.
Well, the wells are very, very close to that pond, and I just found that a bit surprising that herbiciding that close to a public water supply well, but it's been approved by the NDDB portion and the portion of it, DEEP that oversees herbiciding of aquatic environments.
Mhm. Yeah, it's worrying.
And
All right,
it's
thank you.
it's listed as a swimming pond as well.
Huh. All right. Well, thank you for bringing that to our attention. The next item under correspondence is this is the cease and desist order from the zoning enforcement officer and a complaint from the building official relating to 885 Aquatic Mountain Road, which we have discussed. I don't think we need to discuss it anymore at this point. And there was another complaint from the building official relating to 0 Ridgewood Avenue, map 116, block 17, lot 12, alleged clear cutting of vegetation on lot with streams nearby on abutting property. Margaret, I'll get through here. And Margaret and I visited this site and we heard towhees, but could not find any streams or wetlands nearby. So this is the site in question. There's Ridgewood Avenue. And these are the building inspector's photographs. And there was clear cutting, but we couldn't find any streams, could we, Margaret?
No, it didn't seem that there were any wetlands or streams that would project upland review area onto the subject property, so the complaint has been closed.
Okay, it has been closed. Good to know. All right, next item on the agenda is the signing of Mylars. There have been no Mylars to sign this month. Comments by commissioners.
This is Commissioner Langer.
Yes.
Margaret, could I ask a question on other business item F, which is the 659 Riverside Drive? It sounds like since that's been going on for a long time, is there any documentation that supports what was initially scheduled or planned for that to have access when we visit the site versus just walking in blind and not having any reference to?
Absolutely, I will bring the site plan.
Okay.
And the permit and the application, and I'll bring the whole file.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Margaret, was that included in the documents for tonight's meeting? Did I
No,
just?
there was such a mountain of
Yeah.
information that I thought if we could just get it scheduled, that would do for tonight.
Right. Because there's been more than one plan, hasn't there, for that site, or am I confusing it with a different site?
There is one approved plan.
One approved plan. Okay, good. It would be helpful to be able to look at that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other comments by commissioners or questions? If not,
I think there's one last thing. I don't think we set the time to get to Hemlock Properties at 0 Riverside for the last site walk.
what seems feasible to you? So we said 10:30 for Northeast Sand and Gravel.
Yep.
So and that's a large area. We probably can't, so 11:30 for.
I think 11:30 is realistic to get
Yeah.
to arrive at Hemlock.
Okay. Let's do that. Thank you. All right, we've arrived at the end of our agenda. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Do I have a second on that?
Seconded, Commissioner Corso.
Thank you, Commissioner Corso. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hope not, or abstentions? All right, that we are adjourned at 8:50 p.m. Thank you all very much. It was a
Thank
full
you.
plate tonight.
Yeah.
Good. You
Have a
did
nice
good work.
evening.
Goodbye for now. Goodbye, Noah. Hope to see you again.
Thanks, bye.